If games like Gone Home and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture have become known as walking simulators, then Firewatch is essentially a hiking simulator. Of course, that's a reductive way to describe those games in this one, which manage to tell really engaging stories in a way that feels fresh and unique, and, despite what some people say, in a way that could only be done in this particular medium. But Firewatch definitely owes a fairly significant debt to Gone Home. There's even a fun little reference to that game, which I won't spoil here. I think it's an improvement over Gone Home in a lot of ways, but ultimately not quite as satisfying. One way in which it improves on Gone Home quite significantly is in the moment-to-moment gameplay. Exploring the Gone Home house was really more of a story and 90s nostalgia delivery mechanism. There's nothing inherently interesting about wandering around in an unremarkable suburban home. Firewatch, on the other hand, is always compelling and engaging, even when you're just walking from one point to the next. There's something weirdly hypnotic about wandering around the lush, appealingly cartoony, and often visually breathtaking forest that developer Campo Santo has created here. The seemingly wide-open design does a good job of giving you the illusion of an open world to explore, though really there's rarely more than a couple of paths to get to any given location. Plus, the lack of a mini-map means that you have to put a little bit more thought into getting around the world than in your typical game. It's hard to get lost, but there's no arrow telling you exactly where to go. The pacing also feels just right, with a really good balance between giving you story stuff and letting you explore the forest. There's a fairly compelling mystery to uncover that gets more urgent as the game goes along, which helps keep things compelling throughout. Ultimately though, I don't think the story can quite measure up to Gone Home's, which really packed an emotional wallop. The story here starts out super strong, with a moving, impressively effective introduction that does a great job of introducing us to the main character, Henry. But the payoff to the mystery that the game builds up falls kinda flat, because it doesn't particularly have anything to do with Henry's journey. It doesn't seem to affect him all that much. And that's the biggest problem here. I'm really not sure what Henry's arc is supposed to be, or if he has one at all. This is a mild spoiler, I guess, but I don't think that he changes or learns anything over the course of the game. Not that every story needs to have a protagonist who grows or learns something, but in this case it feels conspicuously absent. Of course, much of the way that the two main characters interact is dictated by the player via dialogue prompts, so it's possible that my choices made the story play out the way it does. But if that's the case, then why even allow that to happen? Not that the story was entirely unsatisfying, the dialogue is really well written, and both of the main performances are well above average. But without any kind of emotional growth or change for the main character, it makes the whole thing feel weirdly incomplete.